Hello, how you going? Today is part two of the series that I'll put together on what stops us. What stops us from being the best version of ourselves. So last week we talked about we were not enough, or we feel we're not enough, and we never, because of that state, we never really aspire for more, or we never try and create a better life or look for new opportunities, whatever it is. So last week we talked about how we created a belief system and collect a lot of evidence on the reasons why we are not good enough. Today I want to touch on part two, and that is we don't belong. Now, we're human beings, and ever since we were born, we always had a sense of belonging, or we were always part of a group. Now, when we were born into a family. We had a mother and father, brothers and sisters, so we belonged to a family group. Most of us had that experience. And it was important that we felt we belonged within that group. A lot of things happen to us also when we're young that create a lot of beliefs around potentially the feeling of not belonging, the feeling of loneliness, and it could also start from the family group where parents don't have time for us. We might feel like they favor another sibling, a brother or sister over us. Whatever it is, the sense of belonging is an important part of human condition. If we have that sense of belonging, we feel complete, we feel appreciated, we feel we have value. I think belonging all is feeling we have value. We have something to offer. So as we grow up, we go to school. We're in classes, we're part of smaller groups. It's important that as we grow, we also know how to communicate with others, fit into others' worlds, learn to be, know how to integrate, all those things. So at school, we start to really set up our different tribes, So a lot of us went to school from kindergarten to high school with some of the same people, and we're still friends with today. And that's part of our wider friendship group. We call that a tribe. We're very tribal people. We always have been. Human beings are not meant to be alone. So from when we go to school, work, or other groups, everything is about who we are, where we find values, how we connect, where we are like-minded. So we create different tribes in our lives, and that also starts with our family and other. Now, being with other people is amazing because we're able to share, we're able to give, we're able to receive. And this is the whole conduit of being a human being, the whole reciprocal way that we can, provide love, receive love, really give of ourselves, our resource. Even when we go to work, we create a career, we go and study, we pursue a career, we do whatever we do in our lives, in our vocations, but underlying it's all about how we serve a greater purpose within a greater group or for the greater good. A lot of the time we're looking for greater purpose. Now we find success in all these different areas of our different tribes. But the whole fundamental area, if we don't feel we belong, we become disconnected. If we don't feel we're part of a certain group, or we're not, even bringing in the not good enough, we become disconnected, disassociated. We make it mean that our value is very little and we can't offer too much. So that's why a lot of people become shut down, stopped. They don't feel that anything they have can add value or benefit any part of their different tribes or groups. So the feeling of belonging is very important, and it's a sustainable type of groups that allow us to become the best version of ourselves. I would also question the type of groups we're in, type of friends we have in our lives, the people we attract. It all is important in terms of this whole sense of wanting to belong. Because if we're around the right type of people, the encouraging type of people, the people who see the best in us, the people we can learn more from, be it in our families or other groups, then we're going to be on a path of always growing and moving forward and learning and developing. Because life is a development journey. Life doesn't just stop. It's stop, another step to climb. What else do I need to learn? Who else am I bringing with me? Because when we move on this journey of life, and if it's an upward spiral, we don't want to do it on our own, but we want to bring people with us. And this is the whole sense of belonging. And having a great sense of belonging to our groups, to life, to others, within our whole focus and sphere of who we are, is so important to allow us to live free, to live powerfully, and express everything within, and we understand our value. So it's important, if you don't feel like you're belonging today, to ask some really good questions. Am I in the right groups? Am I around the right people? Am I a person who can start to be giving to others and not waiting to receive? How do I create more leadership within me so that I can also attract others? So just want to make you think about that today. So belonging is a very important part of who we are as human beings. Hope it served you today. Look forward to speaking to you next week on part 3.